Welcome everyone to what is possibly going to be the very first hour-long Reese's Roundup. I am your host, the Lightning Kid himself, and today, why do I say that? Because my goodness, so much has happened in free agency over the last, like 5 days. Like, what the heck? Like, as soon as I finished last week's Reese's Roundup, everything happened. And we just got to get right into it because there's so much to talk about. I almost filled up my entire page of notes here. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to tell you guys what I think, or what happened, and a little bit about what I think on how it's going to go down. So, starting off with Ryan Tannehill signing a 4-year, $118 million extension with the Tennessee Titans. This is good. The Titans improved drastically when Ryan Tannehill became the starter. Obviously, all he did was hand the ball off to Derrick Henry 9 times out of 10. But, when he did throw the ball, they were accurate. They were winning. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Patriots. So they, obviously he contributed. Obviously, Derrick Henry was the workload, but Tannehill contributed. Is this an overpay? Kinda, but, with the way he balled out in that season, you gotta give it to him. Next, we got Calais Campbell being traded to the Baltimore Ravens. Former Arizona Cardinal Calais Campbell, former Jacksonville Jaguar Calais Campbell was sent to the Baltimore Ravens to help improve that defense. Next, we got Kirk Cousins signing a 2-year, $66 million extension with the Minnesota Vikings. I have no idea what the Vikings were thinking in this extension. He's an average quarterback at best, and you shouldn't be average with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen as and Dalvin Cook as your running back. So I don't know what the Vikings, maybe he's the only, viable option for Minnesota, but they could have definitely found better. Next, we got the Chiefs re-signing Damian Williams, who should have been MVP of the Super Bowl, but this is good. Damian Williams is very underrated, so I think he'll do well in the future, for their future. Next, we got the Cowboys franchise tagging Dak Prescott. What a slap to the face for Prescott. I know he's not a great quarterback. He's not elite. I wouldn't even call him great, like good. I think he's just average at best. He's had games where he balled out against, under 500 teams, and he's had games where he just can't seem to connect to his receivers against, good teams. So franchise tagging him, I think that just means like, hey, we're giving you one more year to really see if you're really good or not. If not, then we're moving on. And I honestly think that the Cowboys franchise tagged Dak Prescott to draft another quarterback. That's how I see it, because you can't go out and give defensive lineman, running back, wide receiver, all these big contract extensions and not go after your quarterback if you don't think that he's good. I just think that the Cowboys don't think that Dak Prescott is good, so they're just trying to delay this extension until they find somebody replaceable. That's how I see it. Next, we got the Bengals franchise tagging AJ Green. I don't see why. I think they should just trade him because he's been hurt so long. I don't know. He's just, when he's healthy, he's great. But when is he? That's the problem. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans franchise tagging Derrick Henry. The guy that carried, literally, the Tennessee Titans to the playoffs, the AFC Championship. My goodness, what more could you ask for from Derrick Henry? And what a slap to the face to get franchise tag. How do you sign Ryan Tannehill, the guy that just hands the ball off to Derrick Henry, instead of Derrick Henry? Like, I know running backs their careers are short-lived, but when they're balling out, you gotta give it to them, man. Like, come on now. Next, and this is probably my favorite David Johnson being traded to being traded to the Houston Texans for DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is going to my Arizona Cardinals. Like, when I saw this, I was shocked. Like, I couldn't believe it for like 3 hours. I was just so like how? Like, how do we get one of the best receivers in the league? I'm still fascinated by Bill O'Brien's stupidity, because now Kyler Murray not only is throwing to a future Hall of Famer in Larry Fitzgerald, but he's also going to be throwing to possibly a future Hall of Famer in DeAndre Hopkins. If not, we all know that DeAndre Hopkins is a top 5 wide receiver in the league. And to get rid of him for a running back that had one good season, I'll take that any day of the week. Thank you, Bill O'Brien. I'm looking forward to this season. Oh my gosh, like how do you do that? Next, we got DeForest Buckner being traded from the 49ers to the Indianapolis Colts to help boost their defense. I think this will definitely help boost their defense. I mean, they haven't had a defense in a while, so this should definitely help. Next, we got Byron Jones teaming up with Xavier Howard, and he's taking his talents to South Beach. He'll be in Miami. He signed a 5-year, $82 million deal with the Miami Dolphins. Next, we got Jimmy Graham signing a 2-year, $16 million deal with the Chicago Bears. Next, we got Marcus Mariota going to the Las Vegas Raiders. He'll be sitting behind Derek Carr for who knows how long. I don't know why he decided to go to the Raiders. He probably knows that his career's over, but I mean, hey, however you want to get your money, go for it. Next, we got another questionable trade. Stefon Diggs being traded to the Buffalo Bills. Now, Diggs obviously has voiced his frustration with the Vikings before, but so this time they finally answered his prayers. But I mean, this is really going to help improve the Bills offense. They definitely need to replace their quarterback, but this is a good start with, you know, their offense in general. Next, we got Amari Cooper signing a 5-year, $100 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys. Cooper definitely has been the #1 target for the Cowboys. He's had a resurgence in Dallas, so it makes sense to give him the contract. But before Dak, I mean, I'm still confused about it. Next, we got Drew Brees re-signing with the Saints on a 2-year deal. I don't know how much it's for, but it's on a 2-year deal. Next, we got, since Drew Brees has re-signed, Teddy Bridgewater decided to leave the Saints and go join the Carolina Panthers on a 3-year, $63 million deal. What does this mean for Cam Newton now that Teddy Bridgewater is more than likely going to be the starter in Carolina? Who knows? Next, we got the Miami Dolphins balling out in this offseason. They just signed Jordan Howard, running back, to a 2-year, $9 million deal. This will definitely help, you know, their offense, their lackluster offense as well. So I think Jordan Howard still has it. Obviously, he didn't really do too much in Philly. He didn't get his big break in Philly like I thought he was, but I don't think he's washed up just yet. He just wasn't used properly in Philly like he was in Chicago before Nagy got there. So hopefully the Dolphins give him that little resurgence and he balls out. Next, we got Phillip Rivers leaving San Diego or Los Angeles, the Chargers, and signing with the Indianapolis Colts on a 1-year, $25 million deal. That's a pretty big contract for Phillip Rivers on a 1-year deal for a guy that's had maybe like 4 or 5 good seasons in his 17-year career. So we'll see how he does in Indy, but what does this mean for Jacoby Brissett now? Next, we got Tom Brady signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 2-year, $50 million deal. What does this mean? This is going to be a good little matchup. Now, Tom Brady obviously isn't who he used to be. He's going into a Bruce Arians offense. So this is going to be pretty interesting. If you guys don't know, Bruce Arians, former Arizona Cardinals head coach, he loves to throw the football. And I mean not just dips and dunks. I mean launch it. So, and Brady's not a deep ball thrower. He's not. So how is this going to work out for Brady and the Buccaneers? If I don't think Bruce Arians will adjust. We'll see, but I don't know. I don't see the Bucks being successful. And if they are, I don't see any playoff chances, just because, you know, it's the Saints division, 1, and 2, he's now in the NFC. And the NFC is a tough conference. I mean, you got the Packers, the Vikings, the Seahawks, the Niners, the Cardinals are on the come up now. I mean, there's so many good teams in the NFC that it's just going to be hard for the Bucks. I don't know. I just don't see Tom Brady being the reason why the Buccaneers make the playoffs now. So we'll see. Let me know what you guys think about Brady going to Tampa Bay. Next, we got the Chicago Bears trading for Nick Foles. How is this going to work? Nick Foles, I mean, if you guys seen in my video prior about the Jacksonville video, I talked about how Nick Foles is a, you know, play action, run pass option kind of quarterback. And the Bears, I couldn't even tell you who their running back is. So we'll see how it works out for Foles. Obviously, he didn't do too well in Jacksonville, but they never really adjusted to his play style. So if the Bears can do it, watch out for them. Next, we have Chris Harris Jr. signing a 2-year, $17 million deal with the Chargers. This is actually a really good signing because Casey Hayward, Derwin James, I mean, they got themselves a secondary in Los Angeles. And now with Chris Harris, one of the top 5 cornerbacks in the league, this is going to be really good for Los Angeles. If they can just find themselves a quarterback, either in the draft, maybe get Cam Newton, this team is going to be a team to watch out for. So Kansas City, they might not have themselves a break. Last but not least, for now anyway, the Eagles traded for Darius Slay. I mean, that Eagles team needs a whole, they need everything. So whatever they can get, they gonna go for it. They also signed him to a 3-year, $50 million deal. I think Slay is, I don't want to say overrated, but he's on the decline. So we'll see how it works out for him. But let me know what you guys think about this so far off season. You know, what has anybody gone to was traded for your team? Did your team pick up anybody? I know I'm satisfied. I can't believe we got DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, still, that's crazy to me. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see for next week, and I will see you then. I'm out. Peace.